Welcome to the next installment in my video lecture series for International Economics. And in this particular video, as this slide shows, I'm going to be reviewing week number 3 and just giving a little bit of overview for this particular week. And in this week, we're just doing Chapter 5 and the case study forum that is available in Sakai. So realize that in terms of intensity, this is probably much less than week number 2. We're only doing one technical chapter and the case study form. The case study form shouldn't be as much work as a particular chapter from the previous week. So make sure that you remember that. Chapter 5 is still a little bit technical. Again, remember I have videos posted on Sakai in the week 3 tab, so you should have those available to you for the more technical aspects of the material. As always, the homework, you have 3 attempts per question, and make sure you use that question help drop-down menu, which is available while you're doing the assignments. So if you encounter a question and you're really confused, you can use that question help drop-down menu to help you walk you through that problem, or to take you to the e-text and to be able to read the material that you need to know in order to answer that question. So make sure you avail yourself of that. And as always, if you're unsatisfied with your first attempt on the quiz, remember you have 2 attempts on the quiz. So after your first attempt, if you're not satisfied with how you did, use the question help drop-down menu while reviewing the questions you got wrong on the week number 3 quiz. That should help you improve your knowledge and performance. Also, I recommend that if you particularly struggled, make sure that you, when reviewing the questions that you got wrong, you make a note of any patterns that are occurring with respect to the questions that you got wrong. So you might identify a particular section in Chapter 5 that was particularly problematic to you. And then I would recommend that you use the study plan for that particular section in Chapter 5 and then retake the quiz, and hopefully you'll improve your knowledge and your performance. For the case study forms, a couple of things. Make sure you spend the appropriate amount of time. You got to remember, these things are worth 15% of your grade. So each of these case study forms is worth 5%. So it should take amount of time that is equivalent to 5% of your time in this particular course. Make sure you do some research ahead of time. Do some internet searches, etc., to get important material related to the case study forum. And make sure that you cite any information that you use. If you use a particular website, make sure you list that you use this website. I do go and check periodically to see if people are plagiarizing, etc., and are just copy and pasting things directly from the internet. Do not do that. All right, I had a student one time in the past basically cut and pasted entire sections from a website and submitted it as their own work, and this violates policy here at Rutgers University, and there's some harsh penalties related to that. So make sure you cite your work appropriately when you're doing this type of research or internet research. All right. Also, I highly recommend that you create a draft of your post before you actually post it. All right. If you're sitting at your terminal and typing away your post directly into Sakai and posting it, you're probably not going to do very well. All right, make sure that you do this ahead of time. You create a draft of your post, and what I usually recommend for students is after you complete the draft, let it sit and get it out of your mind for a little time, a couple hours, a day, and then go back and read it, and try to read it objectively. Try to read it critically and look at it and say, does this make sense? And I generally find that if you allow some time to pass after you create a draft, your mind is fresh to it, and when you start reading, if you read your own writing and you kind of scratch your head and go, gee, I don't know, that's a pretty good clue that that section's not making sense and needs to be rewritten. Also, I recommend that you submit early in the week. The latest I recommend that students submit is on a Friday, because the way I'm approaching these case study forums is that there's going to be a feedback loop, and I'm going to be grading them holistically. So I'm going to read through your forum post, the case study forum, and look and see and think to myself, did this person put in the appropriate amount of time? Is the information accurate? Are they making statements that run counter to economic theory or run counter to the things that we are learning in class? So if you submit early enough, i.e. by Friday, when I read through this, I'm going to comment on your post. Critique it, tell you if there's something wrong, something that doesn't make sense, maybe something that you need to elaborate on more, all right, or give you an idea of some things you might want to look at, and then you can incorporate that feedback and then make an adjustment to your post because of the feedback I give to you. So make sure you allow an appropriate amount of time for that feedback loop to occur. I can tell you right now, if you post your case study forum on Sunday night, that is nowhere near enough time for that feedback loop to occur. So in reality, try to post all this, your case study forum information, to post for that the latest by Friday, because that will give me time to review it, make suggestions, comments, etc., and then give you enough time to make any necessary changes and address the concerns I have about your post. So when I initially read it, you will be given a grade, and I will comment and make suggestions. And then if you go back and address those items that I've pointed out about your forum post, you can improve your grade. So make sure you're aware of that and make sure you avail yourself of that. Again, if you post on a Sunday at 11 o'clock, this feedback loop will not occur, and you will not have the opportunity to improve your grade on the case study form.